Hello, welcome back to Story Molder. I'm Vern. Today's story is entitled A Beautiful Heart. Aren't princesses supposed to be outwardly beautiful? Well, this particular princess was not. She had inner beauty. She was smart, good, kind-hearted, and compassionate. All the qualities that everyone in her kingdom valued. One day, the king summoned his royal counselor to the palace for help in getting eligible suitors for his precious princess. He had tried, but not even a minor prince responded to his invitation. The counselor said, "I promise you, within a week I will have an eligible suitor for our precious princess. I guarantee you." Sure enough, a neighboring prince sent a letter of interest. Right away, the counselor arranged for the princess and her shallow, drop-dead gorgeous handmaiden to meet the prince. On their way, the counselor handed a veil to the princess. He said, "Here, put this on." She looked at him and said, "Why? Why?" The counselor said, "Look here. I'm the only one that knows how to deal with the other kingdoms. You are to do what you're told and don't remove the veil until I tell you to." When they arrived, the prince was eagerly waiting. The counselor said, "Hello, your royal highness. I am honored to present to you two halves of a whole." "What? What are you talking about?" asked the prince. Gesturing to the handmaiden, the counselor said, "Here you have a beautiful face that you can see and touch." Then gesturing to the princess, "Here you have a face covered by a veil. You cannot see it, you can't touch it, but it represents the beauty of the heart. It will reveal itself to those who value its beauty." "Is this a challenge?" asked the prince. "You're absolutely right," nodded the counselor. "Okay, I accept." From day one, the veiled one was never to go anywhere without her veil or her handmaiden. Every day, the three of them strolled the beautiful garden by the lake. The prince constantly gawked at the beautiful face of the shy handmaid. He told her how beautiful she was, which made her very uncomfortable. "Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful." Then he had long, lively, and entertaining conversation with the veiled one. He came to realize that he loved them both. Obviously, he loved the outward beauty of the handmaiden, as well as the inner beauty of the veiled one. "I guess I need to choose," he said. From the very beginning, he had asked the veiled one to remove her veil, but she refused. On this particular day, he insisted. She was hesitant at first, but realized that she had fallen in love and she no longer wanted to wear that veil. So against the counselor's directions, she removed it. Upon seeing her face, the prince stepped back in disappointment and then repeatedly threw insults at the princess over and over again. "Oh my goodness, you're not beautiful. You're not beautiful." The princess was shocked. She was shocked to hear those harsh words. And she asked, "I'm not? Well, you said not more than an hour ago that I had a beautiful voice and a beautiful heart. Are you taking back those words because of my simple-looking face?" Looking down, the prince was too disappointed to respond. "Is beauty the only quality that you have for a wife?" Still looking down, the prince mumbled softly, "I thought your outer beauty would match your inner beauty." And then he looked up. "I feel that I've been duped." The princess lashed back. "Duped? Are you serious? You dupe yourself?" She had everything in her tone of voice but a head roll. "Take my handmaiden as your wife if you like. You'll learn for yourself that there is no value in just a beautiful face." Then the heartbroken princess rushed away, leaving the prince alone with her beautiful handmaiden. That evening, the prince found the counselor, and that dude angrily lit into the counselor. The counselor listened in silence. "You deceived me with this matter of the veil, but I willingly agreed to it. I agreed to the challenge, so I'll forget about that. But I have the right to know why you sent me a picture of a beautiful servant girl in the place of the real princess." The counselor looked the prince directly in the eye. "Did you not read the letter carefully? It said that the picture represented the beauty of the heart of our precious princess. It did not anywhere state that it was our precious princess herself. You simply failed the challenge. You are not worthy of our precious princess. I thought you were intelligent and had an appreciation for the immaterial world, but I was woefully mistaken. Good day, Prince. Have a good life. I wish you as much happiness as a pretty face can bring." The counselor turned and walked away. The next morning, the princess and the counselor returned to their kingdom, leaving the beautiful handmaiden behind. The princess could not forget about her love for the prince, but she kept calm and carried on. She encouraged herself by pressing forward with her own activities and accomplishments. One day, an invitation arrived inviting the royal family to a ball. The princess trembled as she held the invitation, realizing that she would get to see the prince again. When they arrived at the prince's castle, she lagged behind to get herself together. She was very nervous when she finally entered the reception ball. The guards gave her a veil to put on her face. She was told not to remove it nor reveal herself to anyone unless told to do so. How humiliating, she thought. He has gone to great lengths to avoid looking at my plain face. But quietly she complied. As she walked into the ballroom, she was flabbergasted to find that everyone was wearing a veil or a mask. She felt that she was in a weird sort of bubble and thought, is this a masquerade ball or a strange new tradition? The ballroom was crowded. She easily camouflaged herself amongst the crowd of minor and major celebrities. There was complete silence. The prince entered the front of the room and scanned the audience. He said nothing. He stepped off the dais and moved to stand near each veiled guest, one after another, making his way around the room. As the prince came closer to the veiled princess, her heart was beating so fast and loudly. Thump, 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 thump. She was sure that everyone in the room heard it. The prince stood beside her in silence for several minutes before she realized that she shouldn't have come, and she turned to leave. "Wait!" cried the prince. He grabbed her hand. She turned around. He put her arms in his and guided her through the crowd of mumbling guests to the dais. The princess floated on cloud 9 in a daze, scanning the room as they passed staring guests. She was having an out-of-body experience as she floated past a figment of her imagination of Isaac and Julie at the bar. What is this? Why is Doc and Vicky here? Is that lovable, clumsy gopher over there too? The entire crew of Love Boat is here, she said to herself. What is going on? Am I dreaming? By then they reached the dais. The prince turned and faced her. He raised his hand to get complete silence in the room. Then he spoke. I once failed a challenge of love and lost the most beautiful heart that ever beat in this world. So I made another challenge in hopes that I would win this time and regain what I had lost through my own blind stupidity. The prince stared at the veiled princess and dropped to one knee. When your heart left my kingdom, it took my heart with it. When you tried to teach me what love is, I rejected it by measuring love with the eyes only. I apologized to you a gazillion times. I promised to merge our hearts as one forever and always. I promised never to give you any crap for you to put up with. I promise not to restrain your freedom. I want to value the beauty of your heart for the rest of my life. Will you please give me that honor? Still in a twilight, the princess was full of emotions and speechless. Soon recovering, she said, "But you have not seen my face. How do you know that I am the princess you're looking for? If these eyes of mine were plucked out of my head, my heart will still know you. I wanted to prove to you that I truly made a mistake. So I created another challenge for myself. This time, the winning result you see in front of you. But you still have not explained how you know that I am the princess you are looking for," insisted the princess. "I told myself that if I loved the servant with a pretty face, then my heart should know her when it was near her. But I felt nothing as I passed each veiled maiden in this room, except for you. When I stood near you, my heart leaped wildly with joy and hope. It knew better than my eyes ever did the true treasure that I was looking for. Then you have passed the challenge, and yes, you have my heart to share the rest of our lives together." The prince's head was still spinning when someone who looked exactly like Captain Steuben on the Love Boat stepped out of the crowd and read the vows. The prince gently lifted the veil, and he saw that beautiful heart and his true treasure. He had vowed to honor and value the beautiful heart the rest of his life. "Hee!" sighed Captain Steuben. "This is just like on the Pacific Princess. At the end, love wins and everyone is happy." Suddenly, the veils and the mask dropped to the floor, clunk, including Captain Steuben. A beautiful heart. Thanks for dropping by and listening to my story. Come back as often as you like. I'll be happy to have you. Goodbye for now.